And welcome to the Gadget Spot, starting a little bit early so James can't try to talk over me. As we
Currently standing up.
You sly fox.
Oh, why did you
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's how I roll.
Well, you've been hijacked a couple times now.
Mm-hmm.
You learn.
It's time Tony strikes back.
That's right.
Just like the Empire.
Oh, okay, there we go. I finally got my headphones on. I finally got right next to my microphone. Here we go. There we go.
See, what I did was extra mean because you were busy working on other stuff for the podcast.
Yeah, and last time you were just downstairs taking a poop.
I was answering the door. How many times do I have to tell
Answering the door, taking the kids to the pool.
What
taking
were
a poop.
you doing an hour ago?
you? I was definitely not answering the door then.
What were you doing?
Yep.
The evidence is coming in.
It's funny because I made a noise. All right.
Everybody poops.
We have that book.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, everyone
Free
poops.
For Teddy, right?
Yep.
So I'm
Wow,
talking
it
about.
only took us like 2 seconds today to go straight to poop, and I took us there. I don't know why I'm bringing it up.
You proud of yourself?
Nah.
You should be. It's quite a talent you have there. All right, let's get this off with the introduction. Right in front of me, we have Owen.
Hey there, people of the podcast world or otherwise worlds unknown. I've been reading the Dark Tower books, so
Oh.
yeah.
Do you
So,
kid?
do you can.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, yar.
Did you see that movie poster?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I was pretty excited. Anyway, so you can follow me on Twitter. Do that, actually. Follow me on Twitter. At TechNoan.
See, that's better. You commanded
Do
instead
it.
of you can't. You,
Yeah.
you were offering. Now you commanded.
It's a gunslinger in me, I guess.
Jeez.
Anyway.
I
All
keep
right.
my sandalwood holsters
My sandalwood
that
grips.
create a half smile.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
above my
Owen
crotch.
so confident before.
It's the books.
I told you this is why I recommended these books.
Yeah, they're
you are
great.
not going to be the same person when you finish those books.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm already changed. Do you can?
Yeah, can't you tell?
I can.
Jarron. Hey,
Hi. This is me. I'm Jarron.
how are things?
Did
I
you
will-
stick a candy in your mouth?
He sure
I did, right at the moment Tony said Jarron.
Yeah.
But you can follow me on Twitter at Jarron, Jarron. I occasionally post things. I try to be funny. I'm only successful maybe 10% of the time. And that's me. You can find me on Xbox Live hardly ever because I'm playing Zelda right now, and it's a fantastic game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You've gone into the cave of Zelda.
Yep. I will never come back out because
Whoop.
that game is the biggest game I've ever seen in my life.
And we're going to talk about that game a little bit later, right?
Yeah.
Without any spoilers,
Better believe.
right?
Well, there's probably.
Come on. When's the story of Zelda ever really changed from the basic
Well,
formula?
I don't want to know anything.
This time it
So-
actually did.
Oh.
So maybe I don't want to know that.
I'm
But-
only 15 hours in. It's not like I've played any of
When
it.
you guys start talking about it, I think I'm going to leave the room, and then
We're
you
not
can
going
yell
to
at
do
me
story
come back.
spoilers.
Okay.
Just calm down, James.
Yes,
And-
that
and-
is my name.
and
It is
introduce
James.
yourself.
You can find me on Twitter at JDD Jensen. JDD's for ADD. If you want to catch me on a podcast, you found it. If you want to catch me on Xbox Live playing Battlefield 1, which come to find out today, I've only put 75 hours into that game. I thought I was way more than that. But apparently only 75 hours in Battlefield 1. But you can find me online at Funeral Taters. That's Funeral Space Taters,
You just
capital
got
F, capital
all
T.
this time back in your life. What did you do with that time?
You know, I want to say I learned Spanish, but I didn't do anything.
Nothing.
Not
Zero.
Not a thing. I mean,
Nothing.
I'm not picking up any side work. I'm not working any kind of Comic-Cons. I'm not doing anything.
That's good.
Let that be a lesson to all of you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a host of the show. It's Tony.
Hey guys, follow me on Twitter at QuadTTony, or check me out on the Geek Show podcast for a more NSFW variety of flavor of podcast. And that's about it for me. I'd give you my Xbox handle, but I hardly ever play it anymore because of Zelda.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing Gears of War 4 on my PC, among other things. But
Zelda has claimed many lives.
Is Nintendo ever going to simplify the adding friend system that they have
they
other
said
than
they
the
were.
codes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
said-
were going to. You still got to have stupid friend codes.
No, but they said they're actually going to now.
They said
Eventually.
that already
in
though.
a few months.
Oh,
Yeah, they're still working on it.
I feel like
Oh
they've
my
been saying
gosh.
that since the Wii U.
Okay.
Though.
minor gripe as well. They were saying how you're gonna have to pay for multiplayer on the Switch.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with any system now. So whatever.
But they said it would be starting this fall. You have to pay. Up until then, it's free. there's nothing to play right now.
Fast RMX.
Is that multiplayer?
Yeah, I played it online. Yeah.
Okay, so there's at least that, but they also promised like a rotating retro title. They haven't got that out the door yet.
I don't think that's going to be rolled out till the fall.
Until you start paying.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I was going to say.
Load.
Is there any
Load of
kind
crap.
of multiplayer in Zelda so far from what you guys can see?
No.
Other than watching someone else play, no.
But I mean, there will be multiplayer for Mario Kart coming out
Yeah.
end of April.
Oh, there has to be.
Yeah.
That game is good.
They should do
And
the same
Splatoon, they're doing a live beta for Splatoon.
Yeah.
They should do the same thing
Have
with
any-
Super Smash Brothers too.
Oh yeah,
They should make that.
that'll have
Yeah.
multiplayer online for sure.
Have you guys ever played Splatoon?
No,
I
don't-
tried once.
I can't figure out what it is.
I got it for my brother for Christmas. I thought I was giving him a great gift, but I don't think he's ever played it.
You
And,
know-
and I tried playing it with him, and I had no
I
idea
mean,
what was going on.
It's third person, but is the point to like code as much of the map in your color paint?
You know, I saw
Or is
that.
it to
No,
shoot
that's
the
a
other
different game.
guys?
That's like the Blob or something like that. You know what I'm talking
that's
about?
Splatoon.
Yeah, but
What?
Splatoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can't tell. Are you supposed to aim your paint gun at the other players too, or exclusively?
I
or
hear it's
just
a
at the
really good
floor?
game, though.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just too old.
No, you can't say that. You're like the demographic that these people make these games for. Oh wait, it's Nintendo we're talking about. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
over 13. So it's fine.
Exactly.
Zing, zing, zing. I don't
I
know
don't
if you
get
can
the
tell.
reference.
I'm pretty pissed at Nintendo for underproducing a lot of their
Yeah.
systems.
What? Have you got your Switch yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Because I didn't pre-order it because I've been burned by so
Well,
many
that's
things
your
in the
first
past.
bad. You
You
gotta
took
pre-order it.
You took Tony's advice not to pre-order.
I did.
And guess-
he is laughing at me.
Tony
All right,
broke
all right.
his own advice
Yeah.
and pre-ordered.
And now I'm winning.
When has Nintendo ever produced enough? They pretty much have told
The
you
Wii.
you got to pre-order this device if you want it.
The
But did
Wii.
you do it?
No,
The
no,
Wii,
they,
they
No,
way
they did
overproduced.
not. They
that
did
was
not.
nothing on the store shelves for like
Yeah.
2 months.
Oh, I was on my mission when it came out, so I was just making an assumption.
Yeah, so you were wrong.
Yeah. So
about that one.
You had so many warnings that you needed to pre-order, but did you? No, you didn't.
The thing with
Now
because
you don't have
Because I
one.
followed Tony.
He trusted Tony.
Tony
Here's-
pre-ordered.
I'm deferring right now to Tony and
Yeah.
blaming it somebody
I,
else so I don't have to take the blame myself.
I definitely fooled you on that one, James. No, seriously though, when a Nintendo system comes out, it's one of those ones that you might as well pre-order if you like Nintendo stuff because if you like it, great. If you don't like it, you can return it
back,
or
yeah.
sell it.
no risk. You could
It's
even you could
basically-
make money on
It's
it.
basically risk-free pre-ordering a Nintendo hardware.
Fair enough. But they did say that they're ramping up production.
They're gonna
They're producing
double.
2 times as many units as they
Yep.
did the first time by the beginning or the end of April. One of the two.
Well,
Soon.
for the
Soon.
year, they said they'd produce like 10 million for the year instead of 5 million.
Yeah.
something
And
like that.
I know you can go to GameStop.com and order a Switch, which they promise will be delivered to you by Easter. But it comes in a big old bundle, and I don't want like half the stuff that's in the bundle.
return the games then
All
after
I
you
want-
get it.
I did that.
You can return a single
I
thing.
returned one to Switch,
Oh.
yeah, because I didn't want it.
Did you get some GameStop in-store credit?
No, they gave me straight cash.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
back
not
on
normal.
my card.
Wow.
One thing I did learn though is if you're going to do that, don't open the game, because if
Did you open the game?
I did, but the guy was.
Oh,
really,
you did open the game because we did an unboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You filmed it.
Yeah, I was there.
He was probably a fan of the show. Oh,
I don't.
Maybe
I,
not.
I doubt it. But he was really cool, and he still allowed me to return it. But he's like, we normally don't do this. I think it was because there was a line of about 12 people behind me still, and he's just like, I need to
move
get through
along.
this line. But anyway, so
well played, Tony.
I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, don't open the game if you're going to return it. But yeah, friggin' just order a bundle and return the stuff you don't want.
I might do that then.
Give that a shot.
Maybe.
How's the
But-
screen
but
protector working? Did you put that
That
on?
screen protector's a big old pile of turd.
Oh,
Really?
mine
Yeah.
is.
Sucks.
Yeah, I can corroborate that. It is terrible. It's not glass.
It's plastic.
Well, let's talk about the Switch later. Let's do
Okay.
Patreon.
Okay, yeah, let's start. We'll start with Patreon, and then we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. So, Patreon is for our awesome people that want to donate to the show and help keep the lights on, help keep the podcast goodness flowing, or the podcast something flowing, and basically you can get on Patreon.com/GadgetSpot, and we have 3 tiers of donation: $1, $2, and $6.
3 tiers of awesomeness, you mean?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And like Tony said, it's just a way to give back to the show. Obviously, we do what we do for free, and there is by no means any obligation to do this, but...
Donate if you can. If you don't want to or can't, totally cool.
And tell your friends.
Tell your friends about Gadget Spot.
Yeah.
And maybe leave a review or two on iTunes.
But
or,
a little
or
sneak
Podbean.
peek behind the curtain on stuff that we've done before. We've done Doritos challenges. We've done Mountain Dew challenges where one of the panelists who is or is not gluten-free may or may not have thrown up. And
this is Patreon exclusive content,
this
you do get a little something extra. For donating,
and
any of the tiers, not just the top tier.
Exactly, and we did just get done filming a Xbox One controller destruction video.
We like this. We did. It was a dismantling video. You'll like. It was a teardown
for anybody who has had a really bad game of Battlefield 1 or Overwatch or anything, and they just want to destroy their controller. I feel like this video is going to be oddly satisfying.
We showed you 2 good ways. To do it.
Yeah,
destroy
we
it.
did. It was awesome.
So
And there's even some slow-mo capture.
Yeah. I was surprised by how good that slow-mo video came out on your phone, Jarron.
You're welcome.
But like we said, we just want to reach out and give a special thanks to a couple of our Patreon backers. Thank you so much, AJ Jasper. You are the bomb. Thank you so much. Thank you to Aaron Harris. Thank you. Thank you to David Osuna.
Bingo!
I think you got it there. Osuna.
I said his last name.
He can learn.
Thank you. Thank you to Dan Clark. Thank you so much. Thank you, Connor Ritchie. Especially thank you to Adam Hecht, Brian Lee, and Valentine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Austin Beauregard. And thank you to Conrad Southworth. Thank you guys so much. These are people that don't have to do this, but they choose to do it. And we really, really appreciate it. It helps support the show, helps fund the Thrifty 50, and it helps keep a smile on Owen's face.
Yeah, which is pretty hard to do.
That's priceless.
That's priceless.
Here's my question, James. How come you can say Austin Beauregard's last name with no problem, but you have trouble with Osuna?
It's the O and the S and
you know how many more letters are in Beauregard, and they're not even in the right order.
I feel like I'm
James.
like part-time dyslexic, if you know what I mean. Where
There's
it's
too
like
many vowels, and it just throws him.
Yeah, exactly. I can't pronounce your last name.
No, don't even try.
Yeah.
This is easy.
Yeah.
It's almost like easy.
It's
Esau.
Yeah, you just got to read the Bible.
Close enough.
Yes.
All right. So thanks, Patreon backers. Tech Daddies, you're the bomb. Now, since we did emails in a video, we don't need to go over emails. We don't have any emails right now.
Oh, yeah. Check out the video, though.
Yeah, check out. We try to do any emails that we think will take a little bit longer. We are going to do an email format. We'll try to keep
video format.
Sorry, and emails that are short and that don't require much of an explanation. We'll sprinkle those into the podcast here and there. But we
like
have
sugar on top of steak.
It's a
whoa,
terrible analogy.
You can't just sprinkle that in and expect us to go right past it. What do you mean sugar on steak?
No,
do you do that?
He was just saying it for shock value.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it worked. You would do well in marketing.
Thank you.
It's just like posters that say butts.
Come over to Black Angus and try our new sugar steak.
Whoa.
Wow. Whoa, Tony.
I'm sold.
Okay, we need to cut that and give that to them. Because that was fantastic. I don't know if it's because you got a little something that you're catching
Yeah,
or what,
I got a
but
little bit of a cold, so my voice is a little gravelly.
you sound just like a cowboy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The beard. Oh, the whole package.
Yep.
Will you say hold on to your butts?
Hold on to your butts.
No, yeah. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
If you listeners have any requests for something you want Tony to say in that voice, send us.
If I still have a cold in 2 weeks, it'll be awesome. If I don't, yay for me, sorry for you.
He'll just say it in his normal Tony voice, which is really not the same.
It's not as good as when I have a cold. Where were we going?
We're leaning into the show with my article first, obviously, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that sounds right.
okay.
Okay, so you know how a little while ago I suggested the wake-up light to people?
What just happened?
Right? And so I am trying to find better apps on your phone for helping you wake up, especially if you can't afford to buy the wake-up light, which was
About $120.
$120, give or take a little bit. So I went online and I found the top 8.
8? Oh, do we have to do 8?
It's going to go fast. And on top of that, a couple of these are going to make you say, wow.
I also liked how you took a second to put up that 8th finger.
It took... I'm talking into a microphone at the same time. What else do you want from me? Okay, the first one's called Cuckoo, spelled C-U-U-K-U-U. the awesome thing about this is you can sync it with your friend's app, so you're kind of like depending on each other to wake up.
So
it's
you're
like a team building thing.
You're gamifying waking up.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I could see that going horribly wrong.
Yeah,
I don't
kidding.
have good friends that would
If you think
be
that
nice.
one's going to go wrong, sleep cycle. It's you put it under your pillow and it tracks how you sleep, and so it tries to wake you up at your lightest sleeping
I've
interval.
actually used an app like this.
You should tell us about that, first of all, Jarron. And secondly, you should tell us how much these apps cost.
Oh, the first app, the Cuckoo app, is free.
Okay.
On Android. The sleep cycle is, iOS and Android, it's free. The second one is 99 cents on iOS and Android.
Jarron, how did that work out for you, something like that?
If you're an active sleeper, it doesn't really work too well.
What do you mean an active sleeper?
Well, it's under your pillow, so
I actively sleep every night.
so it can detect your movements. So if you're like all over the bed, then
Wonder how this
it
worked.
might be thrown off.
Wonder how this worked with Galaxy S7 users. Or Note
You
7
mean Note
Note
7?
7 users that
Woken
had
up
their
by a bomb?
by having their pillow on fire.
They woke up.
Your pillow's on fire!
yeah.
Best alarm ever.
Come into work looking like Two-Face.
Yeah.
Something went awry.
I woke up on time.
But I thought for me it kind of actually worked a little bit.
Yeah?
Like the first few nights, it's like, hey, that's kind of cool, but then the coolness wears off.
How are you guys in the morning? Do you feel like you get enough sleep usually and you're pretty spry?
No.
Nope.
I don't think spry is the right word.
Nope.
Huh. I'm
I
the
hate
only
the
one.
morning.
Huh. I actually enjoy the morning but more than I do the evening. The third one is Wake and Shake. It's kind of self-explanatory. Once the alarm goes off, you got to grab it and you got to shake it as much as you can. I don't know if you're used to shaking your phone as much as you are your personality, but we'll see. Shake it, shake it. 99 cents on iOS.
Wake and shake.
All
Most
right.
people, Wake and Shake's free for most people.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't
Half the
call
population.
I wouldn't call it free. The fourth one is called Morning Routine. This app combats the snooze habit by requiring an activity to turn on and off the alarm. So you scan a barcode,
that
send it
sounds
directly
terrible.
to another app.
No, pass.
So that way it gets you up and you actually have to start doing stuff.
That sounds
like it might work, which I hate, so I won't.
I was
going
to say that sounds like a phone being thrown against the wall. Is
Yep.
what that sounds like.
that one's only free on Android. See, and for me, that would be the shake one. Like you got to
Yeah.
shake it so hard.
The one that
wish the camera
requires a
was
task. The one that requires a task. Imagine that if it goes off at whatever time and your kid's asleep, and you have to try and and it's going off, and you're trying to.
Don't wake the kid. Don't wake the
The
kid.
battery would be coming out of my phone.
And it's not removable.
It's
on
not
your phone.
removable.
I would probably throw it on the tile in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, get this one. The fifth one's called Wakey. Wakie. Wakey.
Sounds
Yes,
good.
that's how you pronounce
Conversations wake you up in your brain and force you to think. So what this does is you either send or receive a random phone call through this app from anybody else who has this app.
it. No.
So if you want,
creepy.
yeah, but it doesn't send out your phone number, and you obviously don't get theirs, and the phone calls only last a minute.
I'd get on there and just pretend I was a cowboy.
Okay, I want to try that one. Who?
It is available on
What
iOS
kind of conversations
and
would
Android
you
and
need
Windows.
We need. How much does that one cost?
Free.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
What kind of conversations would you
WAKIE.
have when you're like completely out of it right when you wake up? Huh?
Hey.
Whatever.
Time for you
Who
to
else
rise
uses
and,
that though?
Time for you to rise and shine, little pilgrim.
Hey.
You need to get along them little doggies.
You're going to keep milking
Cut it.
that, aren't you?
Cut it.
I'm gonna-
Save it.
I'm gonna
I mean, that's
milk
gold.
Milk it just like a cow.
Or
Audio-
like you could
audio
in
gold.
1 2
I'm
Snap.
glad you got the reference.
The sixth one is Pandora. I didn't know this, but apparently Pandora has a wake option on your phone. You can set an alarm and you can wake up to Pandora.
So it's a radio alarm clock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But to stations that you get to program.
Whoa. Brilliant.
Technology comes full circle.
It's free on iOS and Android.
So would it wake you up to an ad?
Oh, that would make me so mad.
Hey there, Pandora listeners. Who's heard that?
Yeah, it wakes you up to. Hey there, Pandora listeners. Come on over to Black Angus and try our new
All right,
sugar
all right. We
Number 7 is called. See how fast I put up 7? I was practicing it before while
well
you're
done.
talking.
Good job.
7 morning sun. This app mimics the sunlight to give you the illusion that the sun is rising. So it's pretty much the same thing
You
as
have
the
to wear
wake
the-
light.
So do you have to like
Wear the
strap
phone?
it to your head so
Yeah.
the phone is right over your eyes?
you know,
and
Maybe
I
a
have no
VR
idea.
headset. You got to wear one to bed.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Is that one
What-
free?
How much was that?
That one's probably free, right?
That one is free for iOS only.
Oh, good.
So good. And number 8 is SwiftTime. This app is made for people who struggle to get places on time. So what it does is it gives you voice alerts to when the timer is counting down. So it's almost like you have a butler in your house. So it's like 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes.
Should have drill
See,
sergeant mode.
You should have
I
got
do-
that.
5 minutes, you little piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do this to my wife, and I can tell you she does not like it.
Yeah.
I don't think people would like
No,
this.
My wife would hate this app.
Do you
as
have
well.
a hard time getting places or waking up on time?
Not since I got my wake light, but I hear that doesn't
Oh.
work for everybody.
Did your wake light get you to FanX on time?
I didn't take it to me. We actually had a window in our room, and I didn't have to be anywhere before 10, which was nice.
Isn't that
Oh,
nice?
nice.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my top 8 lists that I found online, so it's not really mine.
Cool. Good list.
If
I
you want
enjoyed
to,
that.
if you want to review any of that,
Thanks for reading a webpage, James.
you're welcome. Shark.
I appreciate it.
saying
I'm gonna
anything.
try the
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
try the random conversation one because I gotta know who's stupid and smart, who is willing.
Can we answer
To-
one on the podcast?
I guess.
Get it,
we,
Owen?
We should do that.
Well, maybe we'll try that next time.
Yeah.
'Cause it takes prep time to download
Yeah.
the app and everything.
Downloading
to
it right
get-
now.
and to
I'm
get
not
the audio.
prepared mentally.
I mean,
for
I have an audio recording app, but I don't know that it would work for this app. Anyway.
Oh, we could just pipe it into the soundboard.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah.
Okay, so neat. What is that noise? Stop that. Oh, it's the fidget cube.
It's the fidget cube.
Wait, I gotta get mine out.
My fidget cube came. Tony's fidget cube came after months
I have
and
seen
months
I have
of
seen
waiting.
so many of the knockoffs already that are exactly like these.
Not true.
Exactly.
Not true.
I have held them in my hand and played with them.
Nope.
So, but you played with mine earlier. You said this one was better.
It is.
Hold
better.
on, hold up. So did
Okay,
It
you
has,
there you
it
go.
has the rolly ball, which is better. That's
you
the
guys-
only
I,
difference.
I also read and have heard that the knockoff's little joystick nub doesn't actually move.
It does move.
Oh, it does.
I
in the
have-
one
I
you
guess
did?
it depends on the knockoff you get.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to pick the colors?
I did.
Yeah.
Why?
I chose black
Why?
and green
Why?
because it's awesome.
All right.
I chose all black because it's awesome.
Yeah.
So the review of the fidget cube, it pretty much lives up to everything I thought it would be.
It does exactly what it said it
yeah.
would.
Actually, when I first got it, there were some buttons, some like switches, like, oh, that's a bit looser than I imagined. So it took about 20, 30 minutes to kind of wrap my brain around how it
You
actually is.
Fidgeted for 20 or 30 minutes? What do you do for a living?
I fidget all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I use my hands to work all day. I type on a keyboard.
He uses that Shake app in the morning, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have the app.
See, I use my brain a lot.
I
so
use my hands to work.
all day. How do you have time to fidget?
going through emails. I like
Really?
read a ton of
Oh.
emails. I have to file them, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Anyway, I paid $17. There's a special Kickstarter price. I think normally it'll be like $20, $25.
I think it's 25.
But it is pretty high quality for what you pay for.
It does feel sturdier than the ones I played with.
Yeah,
the
like-
Chinese knockoffs.
I like it, but the only issue that I would have is it kind of would create a bulge in your pants.
It does create a
Well,
bulge in the pants, and
That's why you don't put it in your pants.
Where do you put
You
it?
Just keep it at your
This
desk.
conversation.
Well,
I want to make fun of it. I want to, but I'm gonna let
There's
you
a
guys.
joke
I'm
in
gonna-
there somewhere.
I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna
It's-
let the listeners get at that.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the main problem with it for me. Sometimes when I want it, it's not there, and the only way to solve that is to buy a ton of fidget cubes and put them everywhere, or have a bulge in my pants, or two.
Have you guys seen the spinner fidgeter things?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I've
seen
seen
those.
those.
I kind of want to get one.
They are so much fun. I don't like the fidget cube, but the spinning one that
Owen,
uses centrifugal force.
You're harshing on my review in the middle of my
Sorry.
review.
It's a fidget cube.
Yes, it
What?
is.
Well,
Okay.
it's more of like a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a ball bearing.
fidget toy. Anyway, fidget cube, I like it. It's cheap. It does what it says it does, and it doesn't feel low quality to me.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8.5.
I will also give it an 8.5.
Ooh.
If there were an option to pay like maybe twice as much and have it be made of metal and like really super premium materials,
That would be cool.
I think I would buy that.
Yeah.
Chew your fingernails
My-
like normal people.
The only,
Bite your nails.
That's disgusting.
Pick the cuticles in your
Yeah.
thumb
I mean,
like I do.
it feels high quality, but it's not super high quality because
Yeah.
you get what you pay for. It's only
It's
$25.
It's still plastic, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, my one complaint is I didn't think the switches would have as much audio.
I like
because it's nice when you're in an office, but when you're in a cubicle farm, it bothers the people around you. So
Tell me about it. So you gave me the clicky keyboard.
Yeah.
And I took it to work, and it's my primary keyboard.
How's that going?
Apparently,
for you?
everybody loves the sound of it.
Oh, do they like it?
Yeah, because I told them before, like I had a pretty much soundproof keyboard because people tell me that I type like I'm punishing my keyboard at work.
Oh, you must be so loud with that thing.
I am so loud. But everybody, they're like, it's
Probably
it's
sounds-
nice. It's
Sounds like a typewriter.
I was going to say, it sounds like an old school typewriter.
Minus the screams of the keyboard.
Why do you hate me? So, Fidget Cube. Get one if you are into fidgeting, and you could find one available.
So they have, on one side, they have a ball bearing with, like, the
Like a
Lock
like a-
combination.
lock
yeah.
combination thing on a briefcase. The other one has a switch that's like a kind of a
Like a light switch.
light switch, kind of, but it doesn't have. It's not as protruding. It's like
yeah,
the
it's
flat,
it's a rocker switch.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the flat light switches. And then there's a thing that just spins around and around
And then
makes
a little like 3DS
clicky
joystick.
vibrator. Yeah, a little joystick, and then it has 5 buttons, and they all differ in click loudness and tactile
Yep.
feel.
If
on
you do get
side.
one though, get one made by Antsy Labs. They're the ones that
They're the
actually
real-
produce
They're
it.
the originals,
Yep,
Antsy Labs.
they're the real deal.
Antsy Labs, ANTSY Labs.
So, Fidget Cube, huzzah!
Yeep.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some deep dive technology. It'll be brief because there's not a whole lot on it yet, but IBM has designed a hard drive that functions at an atomic level.
Can I just
Oh,
say
yeah.
something really quick
So
before we
cool.
get into like a serious thing?
Well, this isn't super
Every
serious,
time I
but-
hear IBM, it's like I hear
Bowel
BM.
movement.
Oh, jeez.
like I bowel movement.
You need to grow the frick up.
No, ever since I was a little kid, I was like IBM.
Yes,
yeah,
I did.
IBM too.
You want
Yeah.
to know what is interesting slightly about that? I had never heard the term BM until I was like 15.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know what it was until I
Wow.
was like 18.
Yeah, see? Maybe it's just our family.
Yeah, well, because I say the real word like poop.
Yeah, I poop.
Yeah,
Poop.
I'm not afraid of
Or-
saying
I mean,
poop.
I
Or
am.
crap.
I use all. I use a ton of other
Or dump.
euphemisms, but you know.
But there are like some families out there that say purely BM. Like,
Uh,
do you need to BM? There's this Fred Rogers, you know, Mr. Rogers
Yes.
book about pooping.
Uh-huh.
You
Just
know,
call him Fred Rogers.
That's
Yes.
his name.
yeah, Fred Rogers.
Yeah, but like
Anyway, he wrote a bunch of children's books. He wrote one about pooping for potty training
Is
children.
it called Everybody Poops?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, instead of
well, that's disappointing.
saying poop, he says BM for everything. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
If you need a BM,
I need...
tell
if
your
you,
parents.
If
blah,
you
blah,
put
blah.
that
I
out there,
need
though,
the
is that
BM.
grammatically correct? Do you need to bowel movement?
No, it should be make BM.
Yeah.
Make,
Do you need
or,
to
or
do you-
have. Have
Oh
BM.
yeah, he does say have BM or
Oh,
something like that.
okay. Have,
But,
have,
yeah.
have a. It's a
Yeah.
noun. Anyway,
So, atomic
Grammar.
hard drives. After all of that,
IBM
IBM has designed...
back on it.
wah, wah.
I understand it, James.
So this is still in the conceptual format, but they have proven that it does work. They've created a way to manipulate atoms to either have a positive or negative charge. So basically, you turn each atom into a bit of data.
Yeah, 1
So
or 0.
is this the
A 1
smallest
or a 0.
possible a hard drive could get?
yeah,
As far as we know.
an atom is the smallest form of matter that we can successfully manipulate.
Could you bring it down to like the electron or something like that?
Maybe in the future, but at this point, you can.
So it's not the smallest theoretical.
Not theoretically. They could use quarks and stuff, but they say that when you lose control of the smaller atomic elements,
yeah,
they
'cause-
shoot off at the speed of light.
Exactly. That's
So-
the problem. When you get smaller than that, an electron's pathway is random as it rotates around an atom. So
They talk a lot about this. So IBM made this, and they actually about a year ago they theorized about it, and they created a video of a boy. It's called, go look on YouTube for A Boy and His Atom, and they basically show atoms at the molecular level, and they turned it into an animated video of switching these atoms on and off, and they made an animated video of a boy and his atom. It's pretty cool.
So do they say what the read-write speeds would be on this?
no, it's all in
No.
conceptual stage right now. It's probably decades away from being rolled out. Yeah.
I hate that.
Read-write speeds are probably far from being understood, but the
Mhm.
data size, like storage size, is pretty dense. Like
And
what
in
you
the
could
in
do.
the article,
I would
it said
imagine
that
so.
it was non-volatile, right?
yeah,
They charge it
Really?
positive or negative, and you can leave it there without any charge,
Yeah.
and it will stay that way.
Yep.
So explain
Solid
what that
state.
is for
Well,
James.
what it looks like right now is it looks like you're looking at moving braille.
Oh, yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen this. This is
Yeah.
cool.
The
Yeah.
boy, is that the boy and his atom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So yeah. So volatile is when you turn off the power, the memory is wiped out. The memory chip needs voltage to maintain the memory state.
So like RAM.
RAM is
right?
volatile memory.
Yep. And so
Yeah.
and so when you get when you do like a non-volatile RAM is what we're like flash drives and stuff like that, read only memory. Well, those aren't-
Non-volatile
no,
memory, not
memory.
non-volatile
Yeah.
RAM.
They can keep their storage state or their data state when they're not powered.
Exactly.
The first comment on that video on YouTube is the book was better.
Well, all right then. But yeah, so
didn't
this,
like old time NES games have volatile memory? So once you turned it off, it didn't save anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
no
that's
save,
why-
no save data, right?
That's
Yep.
why when you look at old cartridges for NES games, you see a lot of them have little watch batteries in there so that they could keep a tiny charge and you could have a safe game
Oh
state.
yeah,
Crazy.
So, yeah, so the fact that they've been able to manipulate single atoms and it's non-volatile, that it's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
it has the potential to revolutionize data storage as we know it, but this is still very much in its conceptual stages, so it's going to be a long time before.
From what I read, it doesn't have to be. I don't show it in the article anyway. It doesn't say it has to be super cooled or anything. It's not. It doesn't have to be at a certain like.
That's even better.
Yeah, so a lot of the things we do in technology that improve computer performance and chip performance often comes with a price of needing to be at absolute zero,
Yeah, or close to it.
And so this one looks pretty cool.
Did you read about the Intel 3D Crosspoint memory that they're actually selling now?
The Optane drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that on our list?
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
But we
No,
should talk
we
about
should
it.
talk
What
about
the
it.
heck are you guys talking about right now?
So, Intel and Micron, I think they're both part of it. I think it's
Yeah.
IM Flash,
Which
is
are
working on this,
companies.
which are companies that make computer parts.
Based in Utah, actually.
Micron's based in
Yeah.
Utah,
Where are they located?
just down the road from us, actually.
Yep.
For real?
Yeah,
10 minutes away.
Wow.
So
North or south?
east.
Wow.
Well, now the listeners know where Tony might live.
Uh-oh.
They don't know nothing. Flash. This Optane drive is basically you take a solid state drive and make it as fast as RAM. And-
Almost as fast.
almost as fast.
yeah.
And RAM is super duper fast.
Yeah.
Because you have to move a lot of information in and out of the RAM to make your computer function correctly.
Cool.
But RAM is volatile.
But RAM is volatile.
This isn't.
Yeah, so if you want, as soon as you turn off your computer, you lose everything that was in your RAM. So
Yeah.
that's why it always takes time to boot up your computer because it has to load pieces of the operating system into the RAM.
And that's why if it's on standby, it
This is
consumes battery power because it has to keep the RAM.
This means
Exactly.
Powered.
instant start. By the way,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
if you
exactly.
understand how computers work, this means instant on, and that's one of the things they talk about. As this hard drive, you can also carve out and use it as RAM.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it's insane. Like it, and this is. Did you see how much the first hard drive cost? It's 380 gig, I think, was what it was.
yeah, it's more for
$1,520 $1,520
$1,500
for
yeah,
a
it's more
300
for data centers
for a
than consumers at this point.
375 gigabyte drive.
You both talked there.
Sorry,
So what did you say, Jarron?
I said it's more for data centers than
Yeah.
consumers at this point.
yeah, for
Data
sure.
centers and enterprise. And then what did you say?
Oh, it's 375 gigabytes. Is
Okay.
the size.
Yeah. So another thing that's set to, I wouldn't say it's going to revolutionize, but it's definitely going to, it's the closest thing to revolutionize without being revolutionary.
Isn't this what HP promised they do with their memristors?
Yeah, same
but they
kind of
they
thing.
never
Yeah.
came to market.
They keep saying they're working on that, and
Yeah.
then it never comes to market.
Well, HP, Intel, and Micron beat you to it.
Yep. So
That's a bummer.
As I was reading the article, I was thinking, man, it'd be really cool to see if I could get my hands on one of these. And then at the end, it showed the price, and I said, well,
not happening.
no.
So
Not so
Patreon,
much.
huh? Anybody out there?
But really, really neat technology, and the fact that it is in production now and enterprises can buy it means maybe within the next 5 to 10 years we'll be able to see something consumer level and somewhat affordable.
Yeah, doesn't it use PCI Express right now?
Uses PCI Express to move its data to and from the drive itself, which is also very fast.
Should we talk about the thing?
Yeah. Wait, what thing?
The Switch.
Oh,
Let's get back to it.
Switch time.
Ugh.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, James, we're going to talk about the greatest
High
thing
five, James.
ever.
I don't have one either.
Nintendo's, yeah, but you don't.
You know what I was
That
going
was
to
by
do?
choice.
You know what I was thinking about
yours
doing?
was choice.
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying Owen one and gifting it to him on the show, just to see his
Hey.
reaction. Because you guys have been so mean to me.
I've
was gonna
been
buy him
nothing
one.
but nice to you today.
That's true. Today,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, you've been nice to me.
I
today.
didn't make an orphan joke today.
No, you want to know what Tony said earlier today? We have a group chat
We
where
don't
we
need to go
where
over
we
this.
where we chickadee chat
Yes,
throughout the
yes, we
week
do.
about what we're doing, what we're wearing, what we're thinking about.
I was feeling especially salty.
I'm glad
this
none of
afternoon.
mine have come up on the actual podcast.
I know.
So
Anyway.
every now and then, because these guys are talking about nerd stuff, and like every now and then, I just don't have anything to contribute to the conversation. There was a little bit of a lull in the conversation, so I said, "Hey, guys, hey guys." And usually when I do that, it's like some big news, like, "Hey, we should get on Patreon," or
hang
"Hey."
on for a second. Usually when anyone does that, it means there's big news or they're about to say something.
Yeah,
It wasn't
So-
in caps, though.
It was.
It was not.
Oh, it was not.
No.
So-
still doesn't matter.
In my
Shut up,
defense, it
Owen.
wasn't in caps. But I just wanted to say hi, so I was like, "Hi, guys." Kind of like the Stewie thing, where it's like, "Hey, mommy, mom." So
Hi.
anywho, Tony writes back, "Wow, what a cry from an orphan for attention if I ever saw one."
Those were not the words.
And
That was
and
you butchered your own joke.
the meanest thing that anybody has said to
He's
me
still
today.
being mean.
Yes.
you didn't even show how mean I was correctly.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to represent him as mean, actually show him how mean he actually
That's
is.
right.
That was libel right there.
The words were.
By the way, you sent like kind of a booby pillow earlier today, and my boss was right behind
That was
me.
Owen.
Yeah, I said.
He's the one.
Oh,
I said,
you
James,
said that?
I said, James, you need this pillow to hug you because you felt really sad.
It
Owen,
only has one arm.
It's a pillow.
Owen
it's a hug
always
pillow.
sends the not safe for work crap.
That's,
Oh my
that's not safe for
That's
work.
not
was-
true,
It
Jared.
was a pink shirt.
You definitely send it.
I
too.
have seen
No,
a
I
crotch
do
shot.
not.
I have seen a crotch shot, sir.
several from.
Yeah.
Jared.
My crotch is very safe for work. It goes to work every day.
Jaron likes to show off where he keeps his Snickers warm.
It's usually
I like Tony's response to.
I had a cat named
It's
Snickers.
usually with the zipper down too. It's weird.
All right, so what
So,
exactly did
Just
you say?
here he says, just an orphan's cry for attention. That's
Dot,
it.
dot, dot,
dot dot dot. And then later he goes, it's okay because I followed it up with a winking emoticon.
See, God's covered.
Yeah, he's got it. He's good.
No problem.
Totally understood that
So
he
stop-
only slightly meant it.
Stop crying about it, and let's move on to the tech talk.
He is rubbing his eyes right now.
So
I'm tired and I'm hungry,
so
and I want to open this package.
I want to open that so bad. I was just going to talk about that.
Okay, so
talk about the Switch, and then we'll do
yeah,
the
let's
something
talk
store.
about the
Switch and Zelda, right?
Yeah, Switch and Zelda.
Yeah.
So, Jarron and I have both had a Switch now for, what's it been, 2 weeks since it came out?
2 weeks, yeah.
A little over 2 weeks. And so far, I got to say, the system itself has some flaws, but overall, it's pretty primo. I'm thoroughly enjoying
It's
it.
so close to perfection that the flaws it does have are like super frustrating because you just feel like, why can't you be just a tiny bit better?
Honestly, if you ask me, the number one biggest flaw that Nintendo should have not skimped on was put a glass screen on it.
I
Did they
agree.
not?
They
That's
put
not
a plastic,
glass?
They,
It's
you know why?
plastic.
You know why they didn't
and
put
that's
that
why
on
it's
it,
being
though, right?
scratched.
Because
So
it's
when-
cheaper.
No, well, yeah, it's cheaper, but they were arguing that more kids are going to be playing with it, and they don't want it to break. This is more fall resistant.
Well,
There
instead,
is a case to be made for that. That is
But
true.
but I agree, especially with the docks, with
Yeah.
how it scratches.
and if you have a bent dock, that
Like,
opens.
Do you
that-
have a bent
Jaron
dock?
does.
That opens up another thing. They've been having a lot of manufacturing issues, but that's actually pretty common for any new product.
Yeah, that's
So-
not that big of a deal, honestly. PS4 went through it, Xbox One
Yeah.
went through it, PS3 went through it, Xbox 360 went through it.
Unfortunately,
all of
though,
them.
I do have a bent dock, so it hugs the Switch a little bit too tightly,
Duck.
giving it a possibility of scratching the very plastic screen.
But the one saving grace is at least it doesn't scratch the actual screen that you see. It's just the sides that are bezeled.
Yeah,
what
the
about
bezel.
your fancy screen protectors
So we
that
bought
came with?
we
Tell
bought
us-
screen protectors.
Yeah, tell me about those.
I got one with the bundle I bought, and I didn't even know I had it until I opened it. I didn't know it was in the bundle.
So you're
But-
complaining
that
about
glass?
something you got for free?
No, I think I paid for it.
Oh,
I
never
just
mind.
Is the
forgot- I
screen
just didn't know
protector
it was
glass,
there.
or is it-
So the screen protector's plastic,
Ugh.
and it is impossible to install correctly,
It is
and it's
terrible.
it's a piece of crap.
Yeah, do not get the official Nintendo seal of approval screen protector.
I have another one that came yesterday in the mail that I ordered on Amazon. It's it's right here.
Is it glass?
it's glass.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is glass.
See, that's
okay.
I was thinking like the what is it, 3 nanometer or whatever, or 3mm glass or something or something.
Oh, it's got to be less than that.
I mean, yeah.
That'd be thick.
No.
Let's take one out and look at it real quick. So I haven't put it on yet, but we can see kind of the thickness and whatnot. But this particular screen protector, it comes in a pack of 2 for like $10. I mean,
That's not bad at all.
It's way cheap. And it is exactly what I would expect it to be, a tempered glass screen protector.
Yeah.
Just like every other.
I dare you to
better.
take it and snap it. I will buy him a new one if you take it and snap it right
nope,
now.
not happening because I'm
He
going to
has
use the
2.
second one.
He has 2, right?
I have 2.
I'm buying one from him.
Can I see that for a second?
Yeah. Jarron hopes that I install the first one correctly so he can buy the second one off me.
So anyway, getting back to the Switch, the pros. I think it's a well-powered system for what it does. The best portable you can probably buy.
Hands down.
Yeah.
It's got an NVIDIA chip in it. It's the best.
The quality feels good. It's solidly constructed. My complaints are the plastic screen. The left Joy-Con, there really is connection
it
issues.
is, right?
That is a legitimate concern. I don't have that issue.
Do they
because,
know what causes it?
They're not saying.
Okay.
Well,
I know Nintendo.
Somebody has taken it apart and they saw that the Bluetooth antenna on the left one doesn't actually come out of the housing like it does on the right.
Oh.
So it's a design flaw.
Yeah. So I don't run into that issue because I use a Pro controller whenever it's docked, and then if it's not docked, I got the Joy-Cons connected to it.
Yeah, I might run into issues if I want to do multiplayer down the road. It doesn't affect me too much, but it could. A little frustrating. My second complaint, it is probably one of the most uncomfortable systems you can play, unless you have a Pro controller.
Does the portability make up for the comfort?
No.
Is that because the controllers are so small?
I think it does.
It's too thin. There's nowhere to hold it.
I don't know. I've played a good probably 6 hours of portable Zelda on it, and I don't really have any complaints. It's definitely not as great as having it docked with a Pro controller.
Right. Yeah, because they're so small on with the buttons.
But
and
it's
stuff?
still it's definitely, I don't play for more than an hour or 2 at a time undocked.
Well,
it gets by just fine. I don't have
when
any
I play
cramps
the Vita or the 3DS, I always prop it up with my pinkies at the bottom. But since the Switch is too tall, I can't prop it up with my pinkies.
Oh, maybe that's what it is, because it fits in my hand.
Yeah, maybe I have too small of hands, but
Yeah.
I have to rest it on my. I have to lie down,
That
rest it
might
on my
be it.
chest or stomach or whatever. Probably my stomach because it sticks out, and it's not very comfortable.
Yeah, so I don't have that issue because when I hold it, it feels okay.
And the Joy-Cons by themselves
To play as
when
with
it's docked,
multiplayer.
it is the Joy-Cons are horrible. They're pretty good for portable mode, but if you want to play like on a normal TV, they are not a good experience. Get a Pro controller, 100%.
Yep, without question. Save the extra money and get the Pro controller.
But don't make those comments sound really negative. But overall, it's such a great system.
It's still been a pretty good slam dunk for Nintendo,
Yeah.
right? The system itself.
I think
and,
so.
And like I said, it's so close to perfection that those items seem really huge in comparison.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when something gets good enough. Stop it on the motorcycle! when something is high enough quality, that's when the real nitpick comes out. The nitpicking comes out because you know how great it is, and and it's just
You
the
want
little
it to be
things-
perfect.
Yeah, the little things start to show up.
Yep. So I would rate it 8.5.
I would give it a solid 8.5. Now, my one caveat is, unless you're a big Zelda fan, wait for some more games to come
Yeah.
out.
But Zelda,
Zelda is so good.
How has
Good
that
game.
been?
It's first of all, I've played my fair share of open world games.
Yeah.
I've played all the Grand Theft Autos. I've played Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas 4. I mean, I've played a lot of open world games. I've never seen a game that has this big of a map.
Like
It
almost
is-
procedurally generated big? Come on.
It feels like it is.
Well,
it is just
the
massive.
The size of it makes it feel procedurally generated, but there's so many details in it that make you know that it's not.
Now, I would say that probably games like Skyrim have more to do per square mile or whatever.
A lot of walking in this game.
But yeah, there's quite a bit of walking. But the art style and all the smaller details and everything about it just screams high quality.
So
it's just great. I don't mind having to walk, 15 minutes in between shrines because it's just interesting to see what's going on along the way.
So I've played like 15 hours of it. I think I've seen maybe 5% of the game.
Same.
But I like to compare it to Lord of the Rings. In Fellowship of the Ring, they go on this huge journey to Rivendell. It feels like it's epic. When you go to like the first village after you get off the Great Plateau, it's such a huge journey just to get to that village. It feels like Lord of the Rings, you know? Like when you go to like Zora's Domain or whatever.
No!
It's such...
These aren't spoilers.
I don't want to
James.
know.
I promise. They're not
like,
spoilers.
The journey is so long and interesting, it feels like Lord of the Rings to me. It's awesome.
He'll forget anyway.
He will. And
Yeah.
I don't like to compare this to Lord of the Rings because I don't think Lord of the Rings is that great.
What?
Excuse me? Hold up.
That is the greatest set of movies ever made.
Oh, man.
Zelda discussion's
No.
over. Now we're talking about Lord of
I
the
knew
Rings.
that
Let's
would get
talk
her-
about cinematography
I
and
knew that
Helm's
would
Deep
get-
alone. The battle.
Helm's Deep is amazing.
It is my favorite battle of any movie. The
Yep.
only
You
reason
hitting
why
the mute
is
button
you
there?
need to just look at the
Yep.
color scheme
There it
alone in the
goes.
cinematography. And on top of that, it has a whole separate story arc. And am I?
There we go.
Oh
So,
man.
Owen and I
Anyway.
are going to... Yeah, we just did.
Man, Helm's Deep. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's,
that's too deep for me.
So
I'm
mostly
out.
I was joking. I really do enjoy... I really do enjoy Lord of the Rings. I was just joking. Okay, here's...
James, I felt
Did
like
he quiet you too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
I feel like we bonded just
you.
now.
High five.
Ready to turn it off again, Owen?
Yeah. I didn't.
No, what-
I didn't need to see that.
There we go.
I did
Yeah,
not need to see
we're-
that.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
But like I said, like the journeys feel so epic just to go to do a random
It
task.
does, yeah. And there are side quests galore.
Yeah.
Have they
in
said
the
how many
Zelda
hours
game.
this game is to play
It's like
through yet?
100 hours, isn't it?
Is
Over
it really?
100,
That's
yeah.
actually
And-
pretty awesome.
And they're going to have expansion content, too,
Oh, nice.
throughout the year.
Well,
So-
it's like what I said at the beginning. I thought that I put way more than 75 hours into Battlefield 1 already. And just the fact that if I had been playing a story for that long, plus I had another 25 hours to go, like that is insane.
So it's the fact alone that I've only, I think, unlocked 4 towers.
No!
I've done like 5, but I've
And
been trying
I
to.
think there's a total. How many are? Is there?
I don't know. There's so many.
The
Like,
point is, if you look off into the distance, you can see several other towers. And I look at that, and I just think that is going to take so long for me to get through all of that.
it's
But I look forward to it. I
Yeah.
don't look at it as long and tedious. I look forward to it.
Right.
there was a time where like, oh, this game isn't as great as it's cracked up to be, but then like an hour later, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I thought you had a lull there for just a
I
second.
did. I did
right?
have a lull.
I
but
found a recipe, Jarron. It's and listen to this. This recipe is big hearty radish,
Oh, there it is.
mushroom, and
Hylian mushroom.
Yeah, Hylian mushroom.
Hylian. In
Yep.
Hyrule, Hylian.
Oh, okay, you're
Hylian.
right. Hylian mushroom.
Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I just corrected you?
Yeah, you were right about that.
You're supposed to say,
right.
"Is this how you feel all the time?"
Yeah, is this how you... Wait, no.
Oh, dang it, I can't remember. Hold on, I wrote it down because it was a really good recipe.
Anywho,
There's
meantime.
just so much you can do in the game. You
So tell them what
cook,
recipes
climb. Yeah, so there's a ton of different ingredients. You combine them, you cook them to make like food dishes or elixirs, and it'll help you gain hearts or gain in strength, stealth, a bunch of different things.
are. Okay, so this is called hearty steamed mushrooms, and it is apple, a Hylian shroom, and a big hearty radish.
Have you not
There
gone-
are apples and Hylian mushrooms everywhere,
And what
you
does
can
this do
find
for you?
big hearty radishes fairly easily. You cook this up, and you get full recovery of all your hearts plus 5 bonus hearts.
Just one big hearty radish?
One of each of those items.
What if you did 2 big hearty radishes?
I don't know. That's
man.
crazy talk.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It's a cool game. And
I don't
there's-
know what's going on.
I like radishes.
Like,
They're all right.
Yeah.
it's so detailed. There's just so many stories that you get personally just from playing it. Like, I was trying to tame a horse. I like flew on top of it. I was able to get on top, but I didn't have enough stamina to tame it. But it just so happened I was wearing something metal on my back, like a sword, and there was a big lightning storm. So the lightning struck me as I was trying to tame the horse. It shot me off the horse, like
Yeah.
100 miles per hour. I turned around, look at the horse. It's just shaking because it got struck by lightning as well.
That's
It's like
crazy.
so much detail.
So I was on a little island,
Oh, my gosh.
and
Just yell for me when you're done talking.
James is really freaking out. I was on an island, and I had my sword and shield and it was raining, and there was lightning striking, and I saw it start to spark, so I took it off real quick. I unequipped it and pulled out a wood club and like a wood shield. And as I'm running by, right after I do that, I'm by a tree, and lightning strikes the tree right next to me, blows the tree up.
Really? Randomly?
Just randomly like that.
That's pretty awesome.
And I look over, and there's all this, like, there's a tree trunk just sitting there on the ground now that you can hack up for wood for items.
Yeah, I've never seen a game so detailed
I mean,
like this.
It's just so cool. It's, there's a lot of games out there that take a long time to develop, and you see it and you're like, oh, that game was in development for 7 years, like Duke Nukem Forever. That game was in development for like 11 years, and Zelda was in development for over 4.
I think they were eating bonbons for most of those years.
I guess so. So you have these long developments for games, and a lot of the time you look at it and you're like, that took 5 years to make. Zelda took over 4, but it looks like they used every single minute to make this fantastic game.
And it's got a good story, right? I mean,
I'm not far enough in the story to really know.
Who knows? But it's fun.
So far, it's really cool. There's a lot more voiceover work in this one, which is nice.
There's actually not too much. Most of it's like, hey.
No.
Right.
As you follow the divine beasts stuff, there's.
You guys are talking about this a lot. You guys.
We're almost done.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay. As you follow that storyline, you get a lot more cutscenes and things like that, where you get voiceover work. In the previous Zelda games that I've played, it was all text-based.
is this the first voiceover one they've done? Where like actual voiceover with cinematic cutscenes?
If you ask, I can't think of another one where they have, honestly.
I actually don't think the voiceover work is too great compared to like Mass Effect
Well,
or Uncharted.
no. I'm saying compared to past Zelda games, because it exists.
Yeah.
Whereas in other Zelda games, it didn't.
What about Mass Effect? Didn't the new game come out recently?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, let's keep talking about Zelda.
But we'll get to that later because none of us have played it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's true.
So,
Like a few nitpicks. Well, actually, only one. It's a game on the Switch, so the graphics really aren't comparable to PS4, Xbox One.
Yeah,
they're good though.
They're good. I would even say, especially for a Nintendo system, they're great.
Yeah.
But where they crush a lot of the PS4 and Xbox One games is the art direction. The art direction, in my opinion, more than makes up for not super high definition textures and things like that.
Yeah, the textures are really the only sore spot, I think.
But
you don't.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah, you don't run into that problem.
The art
too much,
direction is amazing. The artwork is amazing, and the frame rate, for the most part, is rock solid. I mean, well, not rock solid, but it is very solid.
The first few hours, I ran into some frame slowdowns, but I haven't really noticed it too much lately, actually.
And they've already committed to updating it and trying to improve it.
All right. So next we're going to be talking about something else, right?
No, we got a little bit more Zelda talk. And I'm just kidding, James.
Okay, yes.
By something else, do you mean the somethingstore.com?
Yeah.
Inc?
I mean, the only reason why I cut you off is because I love diving into this game, and I hear that it's so big that I just don't want anything to be like,
well, that's the thing.
Oh, hey,
that's
we
the
talked
thing,
about
James.
this.
No.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, James. Ogre. This game is so huge that we just gave away maybe 0.5% of what's going on in the game.
And I want all that to be a surprise. So anywho, I bought something from
You'll
the Something
forget
Store.
it by the time you
What's
get a
the
Switch next
That's
year.
true. When you can finally buy one, you'll have forgotten it by then.
Shut your face.
What's the Something
Owen,
Store,
what
James?
is the Something Store?
Hey, so James was randomly trolling the internet like he does.
Something store is a waste
And
of money. That's what it is.
Tony's not a big fan. I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't like happiness or something. But it's called the somethingstore.com.
It's worse than gambling.
Yeah.
So you pay $10 and they send you something.
We can't gamble here in Utah.
They send you crap.
So it is a $10 package.
$10
that they sent to me?
and it's random.
And I had
random.
And I had you guys fill this up beforehand. Let's go around and take guesses on what y'all think it is.
Well, hang on. First off, you and Owen bought one.
I bought one, and mine turned out to be a travesty. So I was going to save it for the show. I actually bought mine. James was like, "Okay, everybody go buy one," and I instantly did what James said. I don't.
And Tony
know why.
are like, "Screw that."
The two more cautious people were like, "I'm not doing that."
We'll say the two more seasoned veterans.
Yeah.
Because I spent plenty of money on Woot, bag of crap, and things like that, where I thought I was going to get something awesome.
I've never had that much of a disposable income, so for me,
when I say a ton of money, I mean like $20.
So anyhow,
yeah,
so what do you guys think it is?
Anyway, so
Let it go, Owen. Let it go.
I'm so poor. Please send me money. So something store, you get it. You can actually see what they've sent out. This is what sold me, James.
Don't open it yet.
He's just.
I'm just getting it ready.
He's just getting ready. So
Okay.
so the something store, you can actually go see what they've sent out for the last 60 days, and there was out of a bunch of things. As I'm thinking of the math now, there was probably 80 things and maybe 3 cool things.
What were the cool
Even
things?
the cool
know
things
about
looked
that.
lame to me.
Yeah,
I
the cool
agree.
things were like
I agree with Jarron.
I'd
Bluetooth
have to-
speaker, yay!
Some of them
Leggings.
I can't remember.
Holiday leggings.
Yeah,
Yay.
there was an ugly sweater. Those are hard to find.
Yes.
So unless you have an aunt that makes one, I don't.
All right,
Anyway.
so what do you guys think it is?
It felt like
Wait,
one of those.
We didn't finish Owen's.
Oh,
yeah.
What did you
So-
guess?
Yeah, what did you get,
I,
Owen?
I got one. I got it shipped to me, and I was going to surprise it on the show, but my wife got it out of the mailbox, and I didn't tell her that it was going to be for the show. And so she's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a thing I bought." And as she's walking towards me, she opened it in front of me, and I was like, "Well, whatever."
It's already open.
And it was a stupid iPad Pro sleeve that I'm going to give to Jarron, I think, because I don't have an iPad Pro.
Why not?
You have an iPad Pro?
I don't, but I know somebody who does.
Anyway,
so I'll
it's
give
black.
it to them.
It's silicone. It's squishy. It's black and red, and it's reversible.
Oh, that sounds
So-
terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you got-
I will admit I regret it.
I just want to open this. What do you guys think it is?
I think it's one of those Mexican wooden tops.
Okay, Owen?
I think it's some kind of. Is it too late to steal Jarron's answer? I don't know. It felt like some kind of cylindrical doll. I don't know.
Cylindrical.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it was
Garbage.
Or is. I think it is some sort of attempt at a gadgety office supply.
All right, here we go.
What do you think it is?
I know it has a plastic backing because I can feel the plastic backing on it.
He's got it under the table right now, folks.
I think it's a toy of some kind, like a heads up. I don't know. Let's just open it. Oh, look at that! A mini magnetic spotlight.
Not even close.
Huh?
That's
Hey.
actually pretty cool.
Yay!
We were way off.
It plugs into your cigarette lighter. Look at that.
Doesn't look like a doll at all.
Yeah, what are you going to use that for?
Jeez, this looks great.
Stick it on my.
You can point it right out the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna point it out the window. It's stuff.
Oh, it looks
On
like
It's got
the
a
back.
cigarette lighter.
On the back, proudly in large letters, made in China.
that looks like it's worth $5
China.
Maybe.
on a good day.
Maybe.
It's 12
it
volt.
plugs into a cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
so,
Here, give me your knife. I want to open it.
You don't have anything to plug it into.
No, I do not.
I want to.
You know what?
The application.
We always go to dinner after recording podcasts, so I'm gonna plug it into whoever car we're in
Uh-huh.
and spotlight.
Yeah, we'll
stuff.
see about that.
5 super bright LEDs. They don't say how many lumens, so there you go.
All right.
But
It's
anyway.
too cheap to have lumens.
Does it feel like regret?
It's
It's
super
about the
bright.
same weight.
I'll tell you what.
I would say it weighs about the same amount.
Here,
as
give it to me.
regret.
I'm gonna look it up online. And
It
see how
looks a
much
lot like regret.
It looks
What's it
like
called?
it too.
Mini magnetic spotlight.
Oh, that
Really?
plastic is nice and shiny. You could tell it's very cheap.
Okay, Jarron, how about your Chrome experience?
Oh, it retails for $16.56.
Hey,
Boom, right there.
That's a
that
savings of
definitely
$7.
That definitely next to it says $4.39.
Oh, it says $19.99 right there on Walmart.com.
Yeah, that's not true.
You made a bad deal, sir.
So you lost $5 right
Hey,
there.
it was an experience
It wasn't that.
of getting made fun of from you guys, apparently.
Chrome? Am I talking about Chrome?
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be quick. So many times I get angry at Google at a fundamental level.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
What did they ever do wrong?
Yeah, come on.
see, how I feel about Chrome, it feels like it's the only browser you can use.
That's because it's the best.
It is the best.
See?
But
Thank you.
it feels like web developers are just targeting pretty much Chrome and no other browser now because Chrome is so popular. And this kind of rubs me the wrong way because that's not what the open web is supposed to be.
Hang on a second. Coming from a guy that loves iPhones so much, and
iPhones are a closed ecosystem. I know that. The
And-
web is supposed to be open.
but you can use whatever browser you want.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Chrome is so
Not if you
popular
want-
Developers
and
can
so good that some websites are only can only work on Chrome, and that
developers-
bothers me on a
and-
fundamental
and
level.
developers-
So as a protest,
Developers
about a
can-
year, 2 years ago, I decided I'm not using Chrome anymore.
What'd you go to?
I'm going to use Firefox,
Okay.
and I'm going to use Microsoft Edge,
Iceweasel.
Oh.
Go to Iceweasel.
and I'm going to use Safari. All of those suck.
You know that Safari hasn't been updated on Windows in like 4 years.
No,
Plus
Safari,
Safari-
on Mac
Oh,
because
okay.
I have
And
a
you know
MacBook
that
at home.
Even
Alright.
though Safari has been updated on Mac, it still sucks. You know that, right? Like
Yeah.
every version of that does.
So this sounds just like people that are developers that decided to develop only for iOS instead of iOS and Android.
And I used to
This
like
is- this is exactly the same.
I used to like Chrome a
Do I
lot.
want to get in a?
I used to like Chrome a lot when it used WebKit because other browsers use WebKit as well. But now Chrome is its own fork of
Yeah, it
WebKit.
made its own.
It's called Blink, I think.
Blink?
Blink, maybe something like that. Anyway, when they did that, I'm like, oh, they've gone too far. They're making a proprietary browser.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like AAC and music.
yeah. So I quit Chrome. I spent 2 years in darkness. I finally have come back. It is
Welcome back, brother.
they always come back.
Welcome back.
even though it's a RAM hog, it just feels so much more
Unused
responsive.
RAM.
Hold on.
Unused RAM is wasted RAM.
I thought you were actually going into the story that I put on here, so I just put on here a link
Oh.
about Chrome.
Yeah.
So I just read an article about it. Chrome is finally restricting the background tabs to
Wow.
1% CPU.
That is another reason why I'm like, maybe I'll try
1%
try
CPU
Chrome again.
usage now, because anybody that knows Chrome, it has a memory leak of some kind.
Yep.
And it's because when they first released Chrome, they actually did a really cool cartoon that you could see how it's supposed to. One of the problems with web browsers in general is that one infected tab, i.e., a pop-up, something that comes up, would infect your entire browsing session, and it would cross script across other tabs, and your data that you were putting into your bank website, if you had a pop-up up, could be compromised, right, or whatever. So Chrome came up with this unique idea to give a separate thread to every tab, right, which
Okay.
causes Chrome to be more secure, because your one tab gets compromised or whatever, it can't crash or close the other tabs, and
But
there's
it eats
isolation.
memory like candy.
Oh man, but if you leave that open,
Nom nom nom.
it will continue to build, and you will look at your memory and you'll see, holy crap, what am I using 4 gigs of memory on? Chrome, and like 17 instances of it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they finally just they're pushing an update which actually broke Chrome on Mac OS. If you use a Mac, I use a Mac at work, and it's been horrible because a lot of sites won't load now. But for other applications on my mobile and on my Windows-based PC, it's been fantastic to see Chrome stop its horrible march towards my CPU and memory.
It's just so much more responsive, and websites seem to work better on it, but that's developers' fault for targeting Chrome and no other browser.
Yeah, kind
But-
of like when apps run better on iOS.
Or
because
like the
developers
populace.
target
I know.
iOS.
Don't
I
the
agree.
developers-
It's not a good thing.
Don't the developers target Chrome because it's the most downloaded, though, or whatever?
Well,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you if
It's
you were to
the
look
user's fault, right? It's like
well,
the end user's
yes,
fault,
yes. But if you were to look at statistics, I think that Chrome barely beats out Internet Explorer still right now.
which is so sad.
I
Don't
mean,
use Internet Explorer, please.
You could. I believe they're pretty neck
Or
and neck.
Edge.
Firefox actually wasn't too bad. Edge was a dumpster fire of a browser,
it
though.
really is.
Like every few weeks, it would just lose all my settings. It's like, why did you
Well,
do that again?
Not only that, pretty much any corporate website you need to go to, if you try to get it on Edge, it just won't show up, and you have
Yeah.
to choose open up in Internet
And
Explorer.
Google is incredibly annoying when you use Edge. It'll say, "Oh, you're using Edge.
Yeah.
Try Chrome." And no matter how many times you dismiss it, keeps on coming back.
Well,
And that's
Edge
why Chrome's
does-
the top browser.
Edge does that the same way with Chrome. When you're on Chrome, it'll pop up and say,
This is
you
your
can
default
get,
browser.
Yeah, you can get more battery life if you use Edge, things like that. So you're kind of screwed either way on that one, unfortunately. Chrome,
that was my journey.
a necessary evil.
Yep.
Meh.
Um,
It's kind of interesting to see what the top internet browsers are right now and where they came from. Like
so where are we at?
back in 2009, obviously Internet Explorer had 70%, Firefox had about 25-ish%, and then everything else like Opera, mobile versus desktop, and Chrome, they were all just at the bottom. But now it's Chrome has, 45-ish%.
Wow, it's gone up that much?
Yeah, mobile versus desktop. What does that mean? Mobile versus desktop? Does that just mean on your
Mobile
phone?
Chrome would be on your phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's at about 40-ish%. And then everything else that hovers around 10 is so the next in line is Safari, then Internet Explorer, surprisingly enough, Firefox, and at the very bottom, Opera.
I will say this about Safari. Mobile Safari is very good. I like mobile Safari.
I switched from Safari to Chrome like 5 years ago, and I haven't looked back.
Even when I had an iPhone, I liked, and I have an iPad, I still use Chrome just because it has all my links, all my bookmarks, everything. So, anyway, let's have a quick update of the Luddite in your life.
Oh, so my wife played Uncharted 4 for the first time.
How far did she get? Did she get past the tutorial?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, she did. But
that's not a good omen with how much you were hesitating there.
It was a great experience. I think I had more fun watching her than she had fun playing it, actually. But Uncharted 4 is nice because there's like a level beyond easy. It's called like Explorer or something like that. It'll auto-target.
It's called Toddler.
Hey, now. Be nice.
I'm just kidding.
It'll auto-target.
I need that level.
And it'll help with the camera, which is a huge thing. I think that was her biggest struggle, was managing the camera.
It's definitely, unless you've grown up playing video games, trying to control a camera with a joystick, it's not intuitive.
It's like, she's like, how come I can only see the side of Nathan Drake? Like,
yep.
Oh, you got to move the camera, and like, it would go all the way around him like twice until she found a good spot. But it was pretty funny watching her do it. Like she jumped off this tower onto this ledge, and she completely missed the ledge, and she's just like, help me, I'm dead. Didn't sound like she was having very much fun. And like,
so you made her keep playing, of course.
Yeah. And then we ran into some bad guys, because she's like, am I going to have to fight that much in the game?
What?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. But so I said, unfortunately, yes, you're going to have to fight quite a bit in the game.
This isn't like The Last of Us or,
But she said the graphics look nice, and she really likes the story so far. So
she also caught on to the 2 number 1 reasons to play an Uncharted game.
Uncharted was in
the graphics and the story.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 was in the news by South by Southwest. It won like best video game of the year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it won a whole bunch of awards for.
When I get a PS4 again, I can't wait to play it. I really like the Uncharted.
I've
games.
heard the story is so good in that game. It tempted me to get a PS4 because I play video games for the story. Like,
yeah, same.
I'm not super into like all of the craziness of like the just grinding and whatever. But all right, I'm not anymore. I don't have the time for it. So I need something that has a gripping story that I can blow through and
Yep.
You know, sometimes with all these open world games, it's nice just to go to a game where you don't have to upgrade everything. You just have everything from the get go, and you just have fun killing people. You know. But I think it went as well as I could have ever expected.
Okay.
And,
this is the interest. This is the interest swap, right? So you read a book.
Yeah. So how's that going?
I haven't started yet.
Okay. So
What?
she's
For
ahead
real?
of you.
Well,
She is ahead of you.
The first time it was a tutorial. I had to show her how to play it.
Right. You can't just jump her in
I
there.
thought you
Yeah.
meant the first time you tried to read, it was a tutorial.
Olivia has to tell me what some words mean.
But I know a story.
Oh, that's the.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So I'm eager to continue that. I suggest you guys do the same with your wives. It's a fun experience.
What book did you say you're reading?
Some family book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was Wuthering Heights.
No, you made that up.
Oh.
That's been in your
You
brain the
don't-
whole time.
I bet you could. I bet you she could tell us what game she's been playing.
My
And
wife
you
does-
don't even know what book you're reading. That just
I
seems
totally
unfair.
had canon to that.
Yeah.
Heights.
My wife doesn't even like Wuthering Heights, so.
Oh. Well, okay then. Also, video game related. Quick little update here on microtransactions and how great they can be.
Holy cow!
Did
I
you see
read
this?
that. It was amazing.
So on WCCF Tech, they had an article about For Honor, that game that came out recently in the last few months.
Is that the
with,
Ubisoft one?
Yeah,
it is.
Ubisoft. It's all about medieval fighting techniques and soldiers fighting each other. I played the demo for it. I wasn't really sold. But if you want to unlock all of the extra content,
$727.
What?
$727 for all the microtransactions.
Or if you want to grind through it,
Yep.
you can do this at 2.5 years.
Dude, what is Ubisoft's problem?
Playing 2 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week.
For 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
They just put out a bunch of open world games that are all crap. What are they doing?
Well, For Honor isn't even open world.
It's not.
No.
No, For Honor is just battle to battle, man.
Yeah. So if you want to unlock all the skins, all the different swords, all the different
If you're a
armors.
That's
completionist.
ridiculous. Ubisoft is my least favorite
They
publisher
do have
right
kind
now.
of a cool system to where it the entire world, depending on what faction you join, you can push the lines
Yeah,
of battle.
The multiplayer aspect of it, if you like the gameplay of that, can be really good. But it's just
I do not like the gameplay.
I didn't either. The microtransactions, the amount of money you'd have to pay to unlock everything, or the amount of time to play is just absurd.
Ugh.
So hopefully you're not a completionist when you're playing that, because if
'cause
so,
that's-
you're going to be there for a
That's
while.
ridiculous.
2.5 years.
That makes me upset.
Maybe they're like, look, it has gameplay, it has playability, because you got to play it for 2.5 years. Of course, they're probably just going to make a new one before that ever happens.
The only way that I would buy this game is if all of my friends got it and peer pressure.
And
Other than that,
And
like,
some
no.
alcohol. Would you have? To
Oh, dude, I bought both seasons of Rick and Morty completely inebriated last week, and I have not regretted it. The only thing I do regret, like we talked about, is that I have to go through Apple TV.
Yeah.
All right. We promised we're going to get into this. This will be probably our final topic for the day. Net neutrality.
Oh
so last podcast we incorrectly stated, well, Tony and James and Owen,
Well, you just
Wow.
didn't say anything.
because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Is that really my fault?
That is definitely your fault.
Who? You're
Anyway,
supposed to help us.
they said that they were against net neutrality. That's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
We are for
I
net
was
neutrality.
I was for net neutrality, but I caved to peer pressure because I thought James and Tony were smarter than me, and that I had it wrong the whole time.
Well, you were mistaken,
I
good
was
sir.
I was mistaken. Anyway,
so tell us a little bit about what it is.
okay. So first of all, the first thing you got to do is go to it's www.theopeninter.net.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah, you see what they did there? That is the best graphic so far that I've seen of the potential, and if you don't think that this is possible, but these are the potential consequences of ISPs gaining the right to start selecting what data flows through their networks and who and how much and who can have it. So
This is a really cool
yeah,
graphic.
as
is a
you
great website.
scroll down, it shows you what'll happen. So right now, you can use your internet access to do whatever you want. And ISPs never thought, they're like, oh, we will charge people for bandwidth, and if they want to use 50 megabytes of download, they can do whatever they want. And that was a huge mistake on their part, they feel now, because now they didn't think that Netflix and Pornhub and YouTube were going to take so much of the infrastructure, the backbone, and now
As it turns out.
it
Which,
clogs.
by the way, on this website, it does show like the different pipes that everything can go down, and Pornhub is not on any
It's
one of
not,
these,
it's not. I
which
added that.
is completely incorrect.
I thought that too, so I added that. That was
Thank
my
you,
own
I appreciate that.
My own statistic on there. Anyway, so what you can imagine doing, first of all, let's imagine that Netflix they take a big chunk and they charge $10, right? Now Comcast is a cable company and a network internet provider. Same with Cox and a lot of Time Warner. These are all also
They're oligopolies.
These are also
That's not a conflict of interest at all.
right. So what happens when they say, "Oh, you Netflix, your customers are using up 90% of our bandwidth, and you're going to charge more for that. If you want your customers to have good quality 4K, whatever."
Which
streaming,
they have done that.
they've
They've throttled
tried.
the internet.
They-
They have. They
oh.
actually did.
So and that's where net neutrality comes in. So
Yeah.
like we all were like, oh, we're against net neutrality. We're for net neutrality, which is a government regulation, which was what the point Jarron wanted to make when we afterwards. He was like, we do want it regulated. We don't want the internet unregulated,
Yeah.
wherein the ISPs can do what they want, because they'll charge them. Let's say they do that route. They go for the back-end providers like YouTube and Netflix, and they say, you're going to be charged more for your service to get to your customers. Well, where's that going to get passed on to? Straight to the consumer. Straight to the consumer. On the other hand, now they're also cable internet providers, right? So they bundle a plan. Do you use a lot of Hulu? Well, let's give you our Hulu plan for $10 extra a month.
So what it is like a cable package.
Exactly, like a cable package for the internet. Which
So you have to pay your ISP for Hulu, and you have to pay Hulu for Hulu.
and that's
Subscription.
exactly. So that's where the problem comes in with this idea. And the problem is with the current administration, net neutrality was actually on it. We had a really good grassroots. I mean, it was a really strong movement. And then they just put the head of Verizon, who is against net neutrality, and it's the head of the FCC, and it's not going so well. Net neutrality is in a lot of trouble now.
I don't think we would need net neutrality if there was good competition for internet.
But there's not.
But there's
not.
Like, for example, my house, I can only get Comcast, so I don't have a choice.
Right.
Thanks, Trump.
Well, and and the other problem with that idea in general is, like Jarron said, with no competition in internet, they would have such a stranglehold on content, and they've already taken down some of the rules that net neutrality had kind of faux put up. Like the FCC was doing really well. Now, say you do a lot of torrenting or whatever, they can check that protocol, right?
Yeah.
And they can throttle you for specific protocols now. And they also just got the right again, or don't have to declare anymore that they're monitoring what you're seeing. It used to just be open and free, and now it's less so. So there's a lot of stuff out there about net neutrality, but that the openinter.net is probably the best graphic. Go check it out. I would, at the bottom of that page is a whole bunch of links that actually go out to where net neutrality is headed, and so a whole bunch of other sources that you can look up on net neutrality for.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to find out what an oligopoly is and how the internet providers kind of screw you over, go to YouTube and search the first honest cable company and watch that video.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, but also just Google search "choice is an illusion" and you'll see how big companies work.
Yeah. They see this as a very large market to throw capitalism into, and to really start to make to carve out. It's an untapped. It definitely is an untapped market. If you're a big business, this is good business to start to regulate this, or to get this deregulated so that they can then cut it up.
Regulation like that. That's, as a consumer, I don't want the government regulating things, but I want the government to regulate this.
Regulate, like, no regulation.
It just depends.
It bothers me that I have this dichotomy in my brain where I'm like, I want less government involvement in most aspects of my life, but there are certain things where I'm just like, yes, give me the government to keep the internet open.
Well, there's certain things like gas prices. If the government could come in and regulate gas prices, that'd be great.
Yeah.
If the government could come in and regulate not healthcare completely, but healthcare prices for medicine, for prescription drugs and stuff like that, and net neutrality.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because we live in this push-pull society where you have so many people that don't want the government to be in anything, and you have other people that would prefer the government to step in and take control of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that's the big push-pull we have with net neutrality.
Right. Is
you have people that want it and people that don't, and the unfortunate fact of the matter is we need it.
Anyway, if you want to do something about it, there's lots of ways you can do that, and one of the best ways right now is there's a couple petitions. I don't have the website right in front of me, but if you Google net neutrality petition, there's actually a site that will take you to sign up for a petition to whatever, to get on board and to put your name on the list. I've done it just because it's important. You would regret. It's one of those things that a lot of the Luddites in our life have no idea about it, but
they don't even most people don't even think about how the stuff gets over the internet to their house.
They like $10 for Netflix, and that would all change, and they'd be in an uproar, and that's kind of what they're counting on, is people not understanding
right
what the cost is and what's on the line.
Yeah, it's in a very attractive message to say deregulate the internet.
Oh yeah, less government, deregulation.
And then the other thing too
that's not what it is though.
You have companies as well that like AT&T and DirecTV Now, where they say, if you're on our internet program, we won't charge you any data coverage for DirecTV Now.
Right.
Like unlimited music, unlimited Netflix.
Yes,
it doesn't count with your data.
T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, these guys are all
That's already a start of that.
Doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which technically isn't legal, but I don't know
It's
how.
not illegal.
It's not illegal.
It's different for wireless carriers than it is for
wireless
landlines.
Yep, wireless carriers did not get pulled into the FCC regulations yet in as far as data networking.
Which it doesn't matter because I hopped on the AT&T Unlimited program. It was only $5 more.
but it might matter later.
Yeah, I guess.
But that'll be the first steps. You'll see companies start to offer free services if you come to them.
Yeah.
Free music. Oh, that's putting the people that use music above everybody else
Exactly.
on that network.
And so they'll get preferential bandwidth.
And that'll be the other thing. You'll start to see that people, if you don't pay, they can't stop you from having the internet. All they can do is put you farther down the line on availability. So you'll be below those people.
Exactly. It might be that it's so slow for you that you don't want to use the internet.
Yep.
And that's where
pretty much how Comcast is for me today. So.
Or any hotel.
Well, especially like those unlimited data plans that are like unlimited data up to 50 gigabytes.
Yeah, up to 22 gigabytes.
And then
So
you
I-
get dial-up speed.
Exactly.
I pay 200 megabits per second for Comcast. I was trying to stream Reading Rainbow, an old 80s version, which isn't even HD. It's 480p. It couldn't even do that.
What?
Yeah.
Yuck.
What time of day was it? I'm
It
curious.
was in the morning.
Really?
Yep. Saturday morning. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
I use fiber at my house. It's pretty fantastic.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish I had fiber.
I also have fiber.
Through X Mission.
I used to
It's
have
pretty awesome.
fiber, and it was great. And then I moved, and now I don't, and
Yeah.
it's not so great.
So, just for curiosity's sake, I looked up how much of the internet Netflix uses. 37% of
That's-
internet bandwidth
Right.
is used by Netflix.
That if you know the internet, that's a lot.
That is
though.
a
That is
massive amount of data.
But-
over 30 or over a third of it.
The
Yep.
bigger Netflix gets, the less they care about net neutrality because the more weight that they can push around.
That's true.
Wait,
So-
what percentage did you say Netflix was?
37.
Oh, so the other 63% is porn?
Probably.
Oh, Pornhub.
And Xbox Live.
Oh yeah, right.
Can we do a quick BS before we end?
Yeah, we
Oh,
should
yeah.
do BS.
This BS has been on our list for a while.
Yeah, so
Indeed.
a lot of people have sent this in to us, and
Wait,
we
real,
saw it as well.
Real quick. I just want to shout out to Cousin Rob for sending us the correction of net neutrality. He's the one that turned us on to we were doing it wrong.
Right. Thanks, cousin Rob.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? It was a Twitter.
No, I didn't see that. I don't think
No.
he tweeted at me.
No, it was this private message. But
Oh.
anyway,
Wow.
the point
Thanks.
is, thanks, Rob.
We get it. You're more popular than us. Jeez.
He's our cousin.
Oh.
He's blood.
You're more
man.
popular than Jarron and your family.
No,
Aw.
Jarron was on the list too. He just didn't see.
I don't see private messages because I don't see private messages. Anyway, this BS is from the inventor of the lithium-ion battery, actually, and that's the most prevalent battery that is in use today. So this might go somewhere. His name
You
is.
think?
It's
I'd
BS.
say it's the most prevalent rechargeable battery. I'd say the most prevalent battery is probably still alkaline.
Oh yeah, probably. But all the batteries in your computer and smartphones, even in cars now, well, electric cars,
Yeah.
they're all lithium-ion. Anyway, the name is John Goodenough.
Good enough.
Good enough.
It's spelled good enough.
Yeah,
It
you're
is.
right.
It
is.
literally is
John
spelled good
Goodenough.
enough. He is John Good enough.
Good
Yeah,
enough.
well,
You
that's
got
good enough.
John Goodman and
It's
John
probably good.
Goodenough.
It's probably Goodno or something.
Probably.
Good
Yeah.
enough.
Good enough.
Anyway, so lithium-ion batteries, they have a liquid electrolyte.
German.
That's the liquid stuff in between the cathode and the anode.
Yep.
The plus and the minus. Anyway, he's replacing the liquid electrolyte with a solid glass electrolyte.
Interesting.
Yes, and so this enables a more dense anode. Yes, the anode.
Yeah.
Making it so the battery will last 3 times as long. And with a solid glass electrolyte, it is less volatile, so it has much less chance of exploding on your face
Yeah. And the other
with your phone underneath your pillow.
Well, and the other thing too is being when you have the liquid, if you try to rapid charge, it creates metal threads in the
Dendrites.
Yeah,
Yep.
in there, which can then cause it to short and then blow up.
Or even
Or
at a much lesser
Or
extent, just
short out
shorten-
the battery.
shorten
Yeah,
the life of
shorten
your
the life of the
battery.
battery. So this one does not. It allows this new glass one allows a lot faster charge.
So quick charging, 3 times as dense energy, and it's less volatile. So this
It's
is
all pluses.
yeah, this is like the holy grail of batteries.
this
right
is in
here.
the BS section though. right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But this is out of all the stuff we've reported on, this is the one that I think is most likely to
Yeah.
actually bear some fruit for us.
We
in
hope.
the near
he has a good track record.
That's the
right?
thing. It's
Well,
coming
there's-
from
guy-
a guy that invented the batteries we use right now.
Right.
There still has to be a lot of testing. Manufacturers have to retool their whole assembly
Right,
lines to
right.
be able to build this kind of battery. So it's still far out.
But did you see how old John Goodenough is right now?
I do not. He's like in his 80s, isn't he?
I
Something
think
like
he's
that?
in his 90s.
Yeah.
And he's
Dude.
still contributing to the scientific community like this.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
You know, somebody in his childhood's like, what are you going to do? Invent the longer lasting battery or something like that? Go make me a sandwich.
He's 94.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's
He's like, yeah, I am. Twice.
twice.
I'm going to make the longer lasting battery.
Do it. Do the Family Guy.
Seems I've run out of weight.
I got a battery in my pocket over here.
Come
Sorry.
on, get
Anyway,
it,
that's my-
Chris.
I don't get that reference.
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
But,
Hey, but
Creepy
speaking
old
of
guy.
batteries, I saw a commercial on Samsung the other day. You ever seen the commercials where it's just title, fade to black, title, fade to black? It's like innovation, security, innovation.
It said it twice?
Yeah. Samsung. Shun.
Wait. It had innovation twice?
I might have made that up.
Oh,
but
okay.
but it said innovation and safety and stuff like that. And I
That's
was
not
like, wow,
Samsung.
they are backpedaling.
Guys, I promise we're good now.
Well, we can't put battery in there anymore, so we can we cut that and put
Guys,
innovation in again?
Guys, put us back in your pants, guys. We won't blow up, guys. Put
Promise
us back in
you,
your
we
pants.
will not burn your junk off.
I won't burn your junk off again.
Not again.
Not
Come on,
even-
Tony,
not even a
cowboy
little
voice.
bit.
Nah.
I couldn't think of anything
That was
to
a good
say.
cowboy voice.
I overused it already.
Yeah.
Couldn't think
Joke's
of
been
anything
done.
to say.
Let's go get some food, guys. Let's get some num nums for our tum tums.
Nums,
Okay, well, I guess that means this episode's over because James is hungry and loud.
Woo!
So
What has changed? Nothing.
that's true.
Nothing at all.
What is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Oh,
Let me
you
check.
just wanted to
real
make me
quick.
feel
Well,
bad before
I have-
the
I have-
end of the show.
So the one thing I did have,
Oh, see, Owen has.
I
stuff.
have one more
Oh,
thing, but
oh,
I,
wait,
because
way
I
to
want to
go.
talk to. Did you hear about the leaked Apple device?
Yeah.
Was the mystery device.
Yeah.
Did anybody? So
Turned out to be a card
it
reader.
was a card reader
What?
for. So the Apple went to the FCC to get a patent or a clearance or whatever they have
Right.
to do for a wireless device. You have to have FCC sign off on your crap, right?
Government
And
regulation.
it got leaked. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's about the same size as the Apple TV. It looks so amazing. We finally have a new Apple TV that doesn't suck.
Jarron, I'm surprised you didn't message me about this.
Anyway.
You love new Apple TVs.
And it got confirmed today that it's just a card reader for their doors at the new Apple.
Because
It's
first
just
I
a-
saw the story was today.
It's just an
Oh,
NFC.
okay.
It's just an NFC chip reader for the for the badges. I guess they invented their. They want to make their own.
What, like
who knows?
another company makes one. It's not good enough.
No,
for
they're
them?
like, no, this is all Apple all the time.
We need this to be
In their donut,
Apple.
in their new donut.
Yeah.
Have you seen this
Spaceship
No.
donut.
What it is they're sitting there and they're like, we don't want to work on the Apple TV. What
Yeah.
else can we make?
Right. We have all these molds for the Apple TV. Let's
No,
turn it
no,
into
no,
card
no.
readers.
Dang it, Kevin, put that away. Put it away. Let's work on things for our building.
Yeah.
Let's make it that much cooler.
But I already prototyped the new Apple TV.
No, Kevin.
Turn
No.
it into a card reader. That's it.
Did you dress like Nathan Drake today on purpose?
Yes, I'm glad somebody noticed.
I thought I was looking at it and I was like the hair and the Henley and the brown pants, but I can't see your belt. Are you wearing a brown? Oh, you are wearing a brown belt.
He has a full-on
just-
Nathan
Man,
Drake
look at
costume
that.
that he wears to work.
He cosplays on a weekly basis as Nathan Drake at
I
work.
That's not normal.
I couldn't bring my
It's
gun.
just your stupid hairline. It's like pro seating.
Yeah.
That ruins your cosplay. Your hairline's too good. Take
Aw.
that.
However, if Nathan Drake had to be a certain height, I would assume that he would be your height because you're easier
Not true at
to
all.
blend into
No.
Yeah,
crowds.
and I could do a
No.
lot of push-ups because I'm so short.
I've
And he
played
can fly in
three.
quadcopters and stuff.
I've
that
played 3 of the games. He is average height. Sorry, Jarron.
Nathan Drake? Well, technically, Jarron is.
No, that makes me happy
the
because I'm
average height.
average height.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Average height is
Yeah.
4'3".
Google average height for men, and you'll see that it's 4'5" or 5'7".
Oh, funny.
Oh, good times.
Okay, yeah, I think we're done.
We are done.
We gave Jarron his ego boost for the day.
And then you tore me down.
You look like-
I tried to lift you
you
up.
do look like Nathan Drake.
It is a fitting outfit.
It is.
You could cosplay as Nathan Drake if you
You
so
need the holsters.
chose.
I
If
know.
you so choose.
All I need is that leather holster.
Oh, we got to
Thingy.
figure that out.
And you got to figure out how to keep one side of your T-shirt tucked in while the other one isn't
I
all
can do
day.
that. Yep, I
Yep.
can do it.
Just
Okay.
one of those clip-on things under the clips onto your sock.
I thought a little bit of glue, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, list of average human height.
Yeah, this is getting really boring now.
Gosh dang it!
No.
I hate have to
Just
scroll
curious.
all the way
I-
Just say
down.
just make him feel better. Say it's 5'7".
There's no way it's 5'7".
It's 5'7".
Guaranteed, it's 5'7".
It's
United
5'7".
Might have been
States
5'7" and, like-
Why don't you just Google it?
It's just I like 5'7" because I'm 6'2", and that makes me feel above average. So I'm not above average in a lot of things.
I lost
I
track.
think it was 5'7" in the 1700s.
So the average American height
Uh-huh.
for men
Uh-huh.
is 5 feet 10 inches.
Yeah. I got 5 feet 9.5.
If only you listeners
But that's
could
American.
see his face.
That doesn't include the Asian countries.
According to Google, Nathan Drake
you're not
is
Asian at all.
6'1".
Oh, 6'1".
190. 190.
You got some weight to gain, Jarron.
I'm sorry, Jarron.
It's like a miniature version, though. It's like when they get like miniature dachshunds. They're really cute.
Oh, Jarron's mini-me for Nathan Drake.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Mini Drake.
Oh, his face.
He started to tear.
Oh, he's walking away. Oh, wait, hold on.
All right.
Okay, I think we're
I've always
done.
wanted to sit in Jarron's chair.
Oh.
This is nice.
No, it's not.
This is real nice.
It's making me nervous.
All right, this is over. We're done here.
We hope
All
you
right.
care.
Was that it?
That was it. We
Okay.
hope you care.